y'all, and welcome back to Leonard Creek Farm. Guys, we're gonna head out to the chicken coop here, and today we're gonna talk about what we do for our chickens to keep them warm in the winter time. And boy, I know I'm gonna catch some grief for this. All right, guys, so you're probably wondering by the title of this video, you're here to figure out what you should do or what we do to keep our chickens warm in the winter time. And I'll show you all the coop, and then maybe you can guess what we do. And if you can't guess what we do, I'll tell you. But it might be surprising, it might not. All right, guys, here is our coop. It's our unfinished coop. It's the coop that we tore pieces off and started working on in the fall, and this is how far we've got. It consists of a run, a roof, a building here that used to be for the goats, and through that hole is a laying room with roost poles in the top. So while you were looking at the coop, did you see anything that we did to keep the chickens warm? The answer is probably no, because we don't do anything to keep the chickens warm. And before you get all upset and call chicken abuse or say that I'm a horrible person, I know this is going to be so controversial, but chickens don't need anything to keep them warm. I don't know where people got that they need to hang up lights or wrap the chicken coop in plastic or put heated waters or heat mats or heated roost poles. You don't need that stuff, guys. You don't need it. And so we don't use it. So let's talk about why our chickens don't need these things. Now, I'm not going to judge you for doing those things for your chickens. If you want to put heated roost poles or a heat lamp in your chicken coop, if you want to wrap it with plastic, it's your farm. Do you. Do what you want. But here we don't do it. And the reason why is because the breed of chickens we have, and we don't have anything like any specific breed, we're a mixed flock. But the chickens we have are made to survive. We have barred rock crosses, we have Australorps, we have copper Moran chickens, we have golden leg bars, we have Brahma chickens. We don't have anything on this farm that's some type of tropical bird that can't handle the temperature or the weather that they have. And even if we did, animals are created to acclimate to their environment. So if year after year you have a flock full of barred rock chickens who are made to be able to winter the weather, and you're wrapping their coop and giving them heated roost bars and giving them a light, a heat lamp, you're going to ruin their natural body, their natural way of acclimating to the weather that's there. When fall comes, we have all the seasons here. We have spring, summer, and fall. We've had really bad winters. We had that, what do they called the polar vortex last winter, and we didn't lose any chickens to that. We didn't have chickens that just shriveled up and died from the cold. They stood on their roost pole, they curled up, they tucked their feet underneath, and they put their feathers over it, and they stayed warm. And they got up off the roost when it was time to feed. They fed, and they got back up on the roost. If a chicken is cold, they are physically able, they have the capability to warm themselves. And if you have chickens on your farm that continuously look like they're just froze to death every winter, I would advise you to cull that animal and to not breed that animal, because there's something wrong with it. It should be able to keep itself warm. Now that it's wintertime, you see all these videos about how to keep your chickens warm and This is how we keep our chickens warm. And it just always kind of makes me laugh, because unless you are in a very warm climate and, you know, you're getting some freezing temps and it's just the temperature is going to drastically drop for your birds, it's not necessary. If you have all 4 seasons like we do, it's not necessary to bundle your chickens up and try to keep them warm. Because if you're going through the seasons, if you're going through spring, summer, fall, winter, by winter time, they're getting their winter feathers in. They are bulking themselves up and preparing themselves to be able to handle the winter ahead. And so it's not necessary. But if you want to do it, like I said, more power to you. We just don't do it here. I'm not going to judge you for doing it whatsoever. I might sound smart aleck while I'm saying it, because I just think that people are promoting these things, that companies are promoting these things to get your money and telling you that you need them when you really don't. You don't need those things. You don't need a heated roost pole. You don't need it. And you don't need maybe a heated water would be easier. Absolutely, it would be easier. And maybe if you're a busy person, yeah, go ahead and get your heated water. But if you're not, if you're just a regular everyday farmer and you've got a few chickens, you can come out and bust their water or pour hot water on it and melt it, or dump their water. I mean, they need fresh water every single day. So don't you dump their waters out anyways and give them fresh water? So I don't really know if they're absolutely necessary unless you just don't have the time to have them. I'm not saying don't put a roof on your coop, or don't give your chickens somewhere to roost, or don't give them something to get out of the wind. If you notice, our chicken coop, which we are going to add to the roof, it is in construction, but it's the middle of winter right now and nobody's dead. They're all up on the roost right now. They're perfectly fine. They're okay. They have enough roof that they're not getting rained and snowed on and getting wet. And they have a back here, so they're not getting wind from just all sides. And it's facing against the wind here, so they're not getting really any wind this way. So they're covered enough that they're not going to die if wind blows, and they're not going to get wet. But even if they did get wet, they're still not going to die, because I've got chickens up there right now. We free range our chickens. This is just the coop that they sleep at night. We free range our chickens. We've got chickens that are wet right now, that have been walking in the rain and drinking out of mud puddles and just doing their thing, because that's what chickens do. So I'm not feeding in. I'm not buying into the fact that we need to wrap our coops up in plastic, or put a heat lamp in there, or give them heated nest boxes or heated roosting poles. I'm not buying into that. It's not necessary. If you're living in a more mild climate, like I said, and you have a cold snap, maybe, you know, wrap your coop or give them a heat lamp for the night. But they don't need it in areas that are got their 4 seasons, you know. Unless you live in Alaska. By all means, if you live in Alaska, I probably need to warm your chickens up, you know, through the night. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments from this one. I know people are going to be upset with me. And I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I just want to let people know, especially people that are starting out, if you're in a climate like ours and you have all your seasons, like I said, in the fall, they're preparing their bodies, and they know when the seasons are coming. Their bodies know what to do. So they're preparing themselves for the coming winter. And they don't need you to do all those things for them. But you all do with what you want with your coops, and I'll be perfectly okay with that. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. So I hope you all are okay with me putting my 2 cents in. If you ain't, I guess don't watch the video. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I hope I didn't run nobody off. I really hope I didn't run anybody off. But I wanted to let people know. I just wanted you to know that you don't have to do it. Your birds don't absolutely need it to survive. So, anyways, I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope y'all come back for the next one. We'll see you later. Bye.